Hey, back again to make another video. In this video I'm just going to quickly show you how I prepare the trout to go into the oven. In the last two videos I described how you clean the fish and also how you prepare them with the spices and with the olive oil, at least the method I like to use. So if you want to watch those videos, if you need to skip back, that's fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and add some more olive oil to these fish just so they cook nicely. So they've been in the fridge for a couple of days. My general rule, me personally, I don't like to eat them after more than like 2 days, 3 days max. I probably wouldn't really want to eat them after 3 days just because they degrade rather quickly in the fridge and the flavor is not going to be as good. So let's just add a little more olive oil here. And as you can see, when I took the foil out, I made sure to make it just about the same size as the fish itself. You don't want too much foil in my opinion because that's going to prevent it from cooking very well. And I like to have a thin layer of foil just so the fish cooks better. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Since it's already seasoned and everything, all I'm going to do is just kind of cover it up like this. Try to seal it a little bit on the edges. And then just roll it one time. And if you only have to roll the tinfoil one time, that's good. That means it's going to cook more evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to put it in for 20 minutes at 400 degrees. And I'm not sure, this oven cooks kind of hot. It's a new oven for me, so I'm going to have to experiment a little. It's going to be different just a little bit for you guys, just depending on how you're cooking it and what your equipment's like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. After about 10 or 11 minutes, I'm going to flip them over and cook the other side for the additional 10 minutes or so. And then I'm going to use a meat thermometer and check it. I'm sure it will be fine, but I just want to make sure since it's a new oven. And after that, I will go ahead and show you how you peel the skin off the fish and how you attempt to remove the meat from the bones. Alright, the fish is out of the oven. So my oven was cooking it pretty good. These are some smaller trout, so they were cooking faster. You know, sitting in the other room, and I just started to hear it sizzling after I had flipped it, and I started to, you know, smell that it was done. Oftentimes when you're cooking meat, you can almost just kind of smell when it's done. So that kind of prompted me to get up, and it only was in for like 16 minutes. I flipped the first side after 10 minutes, and then 6 minutes I pulled it out, the second 6 minutes there. So I'll go ahead and open it up. These have actually been cooling off for a little while because if you try to do this when they're hot, it's not going to work out too well. It's going to burn your fingers. So what I'm going to try to do is just start peeling back this skin. Let's see if it's still good consistency. It's actually easier to peel it back when it's hot, but it's still kind of warm, so it looks like this one's peeling back quite nicely so far. This can be a difficult part. Sometimes the fish are kind of, the skin can be kind of stubborn. It doesn't come off so easy, but it's coming off really easily, so I'm happy about that. And while I was actually in the process of pulling the fish out of the oven, I decided to make up some jasmine rice. So I have a really good rice cooker that my mom and dad sent me, and I ended up using that quite a bit, but I really like to have my trout with some jasmine rice, or maybe some wild rice, something like that. Oh, I just love the way that the skin peeled right off of this fish. That's actually usually pretty hard to obtain, especially if you grill it and there's been a lot of heat on the fish. The skin will kind of stick and it'll be harder to get off. But I think because I added the extra olive oil, it's coming off quicker. So let's see what this one does. Oh yeah, that one's super easy, coming right off. Really happy about that. Alright, so I just kind of peel it off. Obviously don't worry about the head or the very tip of the tail. There's really nothing on the tail as far as meat goes, just a little bit. So I kind of push down on the ridge line of the spine, and that should release the rest of the skin down below. That's just going so well. I'm going to disconnect it from the tail on this particular fish. As you can see, that turned out pretty well. So now what I'm going to start doing after I disconnect this other tail here, is I'm going to take a fork and I'm just going to start gently peeling back on the meat. So the problem with trout that you'll run into is the bones. The bones are very small, especially on these small fish. This might be a problem. We'll see how it goes. The bigger fish, you know, with the especially wild ones that aren't hatchery fish, with the darker meat, it tends to peel off the bones a lot easier. But these smaller hatchery fish, they tend to be a little difficult sometimes. If you get those bones in there, it can be kind of unpleasant. So I just try to, like, I'm not really like pulling on it, I'm more like pushing on it right now. Just kind of tapping right along this little line here where the bones meet. So on this side they're going to go down, and on the other side they're facing upward. So I'm just going to gently start pushing them off, because I don't want to really have a ton of bones in my fish. That's super uncomfortable, and it's not fun to eat a trout when it's full of bones. And that turned out pretty well. Satisfied with that. Looks like the bones are primarily still connected to the fish. That's great. That one turned out good. I've found it's harder when you're pulling the bones down sometimes. That's where you really have some trouble. So I'm just gonna gently push down on this part a little bit more. Try to loosen it. If I can loosen it just enough, they should slip off easier, but sometimes you end up with pretty big chunks of bones coming with your meat. Oh, see, you can see how the meat's kind of coming off here. And I don't worry about it being 100%, you know, presentable, especially with this bottom section. It's more important that you just avoid the bones. So it is a little bit crushed up, but that's not going to bother me. I'm more interested in the flavor and the texture. So I'll just take off any extra meat that's left over, and of course I'll flip it over like so, and we'll do it again. So I had said I really like to do rice with my fish. Another thing that you could do, especially if you're doing rice, do some black beans. That would be super good. Over the summers, when I catch a lot of trout, I'll eat them fresh after catching them, and what I'll do is I'll get a salad. I'll get like a Caesar salad. It tastes fantastic with Caesar salad dressing. So maybe like a pre-made Caesar packet. You can add blueberries, strawberries. It tastes great with fruit. Pairs very well with fruits, even like small apple chunks. And also vinaigrette. A vinaigrette salad would be super good with these trout. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. Ever so gently. And that came off super nice. And I just like to throw it in a bowl off to the side. And let's see how this last section goes. This might be perfection here. So when I've done this on the barbecue, it usually doesn't go this smoothly. But that extra olive oil and the right amount of cooking time, I think it worked out well. This one seems to be a little tougher. I think this was the bottom, so it got seared a little more onto the tin foil. And there we are. There might be a couple bones in there, it's hard to see, but nothing that's gonna bother me too much. So I'm not gonna do the rest of this second fish in front of you today, but that's basically how it works. So you can do anything you want with that meat. Think of some ways you can pair that with some other dishes. You know, go online and search out some different things you can do. One thing I didn't mention in the preparation video is rosemary. Rosemary is amazing on trout, so I like to put the rosemary on the inside, especially when I'm cooking my trout, and that just adds so much extra flavor. Well, I hope you have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.